Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. In today's video, I'm going to be doing the mid-year book Freakout tag, which was created by Ellie from Earl Grey Books and Cami, and I'll leave a link to their channels down in the description below. So it is that time to freak out mid-yearly, so let's get straight into this because I've got a lot of books to talk about. Actually, before we do start, I just want to say how difficult I found answering these questions this year because I have reread so many books this year and I'm trying not to answer any of these questions with rereads, so it actually made it really, really difficult. But hey ho, let's get into this. Question number one, the best book that you've read in 2024. Okay, so for this one it might not be a favorite, but I really, really loved it when I was reading it because it gave me a very specific type of feeling, and I'm going with Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I don't know what to say about this book except that I just really enjoyed it, and it was the type of book that made me not want to put it down, even though I did for like 2 weeks and then I picked it back up again. Besides the point, when I was reading it, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I don't care about its similarities to other books. I just enjoyed it a lot. And that's the only book I could think of for this question. If you don't know what Fourth Wing is about, it's set in a fantasy world in a militaristic school where people learn to become dragon riders. Question number two, the best sequel you've read in 2024. So for this one I'm going to go with Entranced by the Basilisks by Lillian Lark. Wow, that was a whole tongue twister right there. This is book 4 of the main books, book 3 or 4. It's a book in Lillian Lark's Monster Bathhouse series. I always forget the name of this series. Oh, this is a terrible booktubing that I'm doing right here, but those are really good books, monster romance books, and this one follows a woman who accidentally gets sort of turned into a gorgon, and 2 snake men, and the romance between them all. They're all together in a romance, and it's weirdly great because they all have like facets that support other people's like weaknesses and stuff like that, and they really support each other and I love them. Oh, they were really cute. Anyway, it was a great sequel, so I love that. Question number 3, a new release that you haven't read yet but want to. For this one I'm going to go with Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver. This is the sequel to Butcher and Blackbird, and it's serial killer romances, and this is just gonna be so good. I'm so excited. So this one features the brother of the main character from the last one and the friend of the other main character getting together. I think it's like a marriage of convenience kind of thing, but with like, one of them's a contract killer and like, you know, it's a dark romance, but also has that kind of comedy element I'm hoping that was in Butcher and Blackbird that I really, really liked about it. So Leather and Lark, I'm excited to read it. Question number 4 is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So the book I'm going to go for here is Phantom Hearts by Rosie Talbot. This is a thriller graphic novel that is a supernatural murder mystery. There's a car crash and one student is able to see the ghosts and starts to question if this was actually an accident or if it was on purpose. Also, it's sapphic and I'm all here for that, so I'm just really excited to read this one. Question number 5, biggest disappointment. Now honestly, I don't think I actually had a disappointment this year. I don't think I've read anything that I had really, really high expectations for and I was let down by. So for this one I picked a book that I thought might have been better than it was, and it just turned out to be nowhere near as good. Like, it didn't have any spark of something that I was looking for, and it's Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. Now I just really thought that this book would, I don't know, have something that would make me be hooked into it. There are a couple of like 2010s books that I find that I've read like as an adult that I've gone, wow, okay, yeah, cool, I can still get into this, like Vampire Academy and the Paranormal Sea books. There's something about them that just like intrigued me, whereas this one I was like, wow, this is really dumb. Like, I couldn't invest myself in it, and I'm not sure why. It might not be dumb, but to me it felt like it was dumb. So sorry if this is your favourite series. As a 31-year-old, I just couldn't with this. This book is about fallen angels. Oh my god, I've already forgotten what this book is about. That is really quite telling. Yeah, I was disappointed anyway. I didn't like any of the romance and I thought all the characters were dumb. Question number 6, the biggest surprise. So to answer this question, I'm going to say There Is No Anti-Memetics Division by Quantum. This one is a sci-fi book about the SCP Foundation, which is a special containment protocol thing. It's essentially about like entities that exist within our world that are contained and often do horrible things. Some of them are completely harmless. There Is No Anti-Memetics Division deals with a specific part of the SCP Foundation around entities that are involved in self-deleting information. So as soon as you like find out about them, they like remove memories, or like they eat your memories and stuff like that. Different entities do different things, and this book follows a very large, dangerous entity, and the people who are trying to deal with this entity without having their memories of it, because if they become aware of it, then it knows that they're aware of it and then will find them. So they have to deal with it without knowing what they're dealing with, and it's just a whole really interesting thing, and I was really surprised. I'm a bit too dumb to actually get all of the things that happened in this book, but I just really was invested, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, this is really cool. And yeah, it turns out I need to read more of these because it was really good. Question number 7, favourite new author, debut or to you? Now I had a few authors that I could pick for this, but I didn't want to repeat my answers too much, so for the sake of not repeating things, I'm going to go with Elise Houseman. I read a book called Unseely by Elise Houseman. It's a YA fantasy book about these twins, one of whom is a changeling and she's also autistic, and I just really liked how her being autistic was woven into the fantasy storyline, as well as what else was happening in the plot. It was a really interesting plot about her and her sister who are just trying to get away from something that happened in their hometown. So they're trying to get some money, obviously by stealing things, because that's how you get money, and they bump into these 2 other thieves, and this whole thing happens that embroils them in something that they never should have been a part of, but it's very interesting and very fun. I don't know, it's interesting because this Fae world that these characters are in, the Fae actually feel dangerous, and they can go through portals into different Fae realms like the Unseely and the Seelie realms, and yeah, it just feels quite dangerous for the characters, so it's fun, and I really enjoyed how autism was incorporated into that fantasy story. I'm always looking for more stories that are like fantasy or sci-fi that include autistic characters, so really enjoyed that, and I'm gonna say Elise Houseman for this answer. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. Okay, we're not gonna think too seriously about this because I haven't really crushed on people, but we're gonna say Rowan from Butcher and Blackbird. A little bit unhinged answer. I don't really have a reason, just quite liked him really. I might also say Victor from the Filthy Wicked Psychos series by Eva Ashwood, started with Twisted Game. I don't know why, I just like him and I like his development and how throughout the books he is sort of coming out of his shell and sort of dealing with his own demons, and you know, I like how he is doing that with the help of the main character and the love interest. I quite like that. It's just, you know, I don't think I'm crushing on these characters, but like, I like them. Question number 9, your newest favourite character. Again, honestly, I kind of struggled with this one, so I'm just going to go with Violet Sorrengail from Fourth Wing. I really like how she is so determined and won't give up on things, and she's just cool. I like her a lot, and also she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I have a connective tissue disorder as well. So when I was reading this, I really felt like, wow, girl, I feel you. But also, I couldn't do any of that stuff, so you put me to shame a little bit there. So, you know, aspirations, I guess. Question number 10, a book that made you cry. So for this one, I'm going to go with House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I finally read this series this year, and this book particularly, I think I cried for the last 200 pages. Just solidly cried the entire way. From my friends are with me, and I'm, oh my god, I'm still crying just thinking about it. This is terrible. Light it up, you know? Light it up. Question number 11, a book that made you happy. So for this one, I'm going to go with any book from the Heroes of Olympus series. The second Percy Jackson series. I've been reading these with Emily from Novelle Novels, and I've just been really enjoying them. While there are serious things that are happening in these books, they have this humour about them that just makes me keep smiling, so I thought that kind of the perfect answer for this. Question number 12, the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year or received. So for this one, I'm going to go with The North Wind by Alexander Warwick. This is a book that I walked past multiple times in the shop, and I kept looking at it and I was like, and I ended up buying it. Even though it's a hardback, I was like, just look at it. And it turns out it's like a Hades and Persephone retelling, and it ticks so many of the boxes that I really enjoy in terms of its tropes, so I was like, okay, this is just gonna be bought, and it's really pretty as well, so. And lastly, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? As per usual with this question, I'm just going to pick 3 books that I want to read by the end of the year. Because let's be honest, my TBR is endless. So the first book on this list is The Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Marie Meira. And this book is about a sunshine assistant to the grumpy fantasy villain, like standard fantasy villain, and their potential romance among like other fun Grumpy Sunshine things. I don't actually know what the story of this book is about, but I imagine it's when she is hired to be his assistant. And I did follow this author on TikTok and saw a lot of the skits that she used to do, so I'm really intrigued to see what this looks like in book form. Then next up I want to read Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes. This is a sci-fi horror set in space about a ship that was abandoned, all the crew missing, presumed dead, and something is on the ship. I love an enclosed space horror, particularly one in space. Like, where there's no escape from it. You have to, like, be in this space and you can't go anywhere else. I just find that really fascinating. It's so much scarier than if I could just, you know, leave the house if, like, a ghost was haunting. Can't really go anywhere in space. So I'm really intrigued by this one. Kind of thinking maybe I should wait for October, but also kind of thinking, fuck that, let's just read it whenever I want. Probably I should do that. And then lastly, Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe. So this is a Hades Persephone retelling graphic novel, and it just looks so stinking cute. I've heard great things about it. I have the first 5 volumes and I've not started it, so I really feel like it's about time that I did. Hence me putting it on the list to read before the end of the year. So there we have it. I have freaked out about the books in the mid-year. This tag was incredibly difficult for me to do this year because I've read so many books that I had already read, and it just wasn't fair to put them on this list, even though like a lot of those characters are like, oh, I love them. But yeah, no, sorry, they don't get to be on this list. So if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!